Well, shit. What are we going to talk about?
Well, we have to name our podcast.
Oh, we have to name our podcast.
We're going to name our podcast right here.
Can you zoom me?
On the podcast.
Oh, yeah. Could you beer me?
Yes, I can. All right. So, do you have your phone on you?
Yeah.
Is our name stuff still in the
It's in our chat.
in the yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Yuz signal chat. Oh, can I take your last one?
Mm-hmm.
Is it? Oh, there's more in the Jeep, right?
Yeah. I got another can as well if you like smooth more than mint.
Dude, I like mint. I'm all about that spearmint, that cool mint, that
Cool minty flavor. Yeah. It's like a little mouth pillow, you know?
Yeah. Oh, we forgot our intro.
which is what?
The CIA killed Kennedy. Chemtrails give you headaches. The Nephilim are returning, and my ass itches. Welcome to the fucking show.
Fucking show. That's right.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, we had names. Here we go. Okay.
This portion of the podcast has been redacted.
Talked about a lot of random shit.
We did. Okay. Feral
always do.
Christians talking Bigfoot. The Deformed Reformed. Youth group survival class.
Ooh, that
Stories
I
from
like
the church
that.
basement.
Wait, what was the next one?
Stories from the church basement.
Yeah.
Get in, loser. We're looking for Bigfoots and angels.
That's my favorite, but it's so long.
Yeah.
Tinfoil Bible School.
Yeah. Dude, do you know which tinfoil iteration's my favorite?
Tinfoil Biblical University. Tinfoil Pope hats.
That's my favorite.
We need I talked about our logo being a church stained glass window with angels, Bigfoot, and UFOs in it.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
That'd be very cool.
We did talk about tinfoil side hugs.
Mm-hmm. Harkening back to the
Tinfoil side hugs.
the youth unspoken youth group rules. You're not allowed to.
Oh yeah, no
to
double arms.
No
Yeah,
double arm
no
hugging
double
the girls.
arming. Oh god.
There was get in, loser. We're hunting Nephilim.
That's nice and good.
Dude, I don't know if I can do this without crashing out.
At some point, there was a joke about cardiac arrest. One of the segment ideas was we react to excerpts from Jungle Jam and Adventures in
dude.
Odyssey.
I wanted to play the clip of Miller the monkey
doing the clunking. I call it clunking.
Me and Dad found it the other day. It's out there still.
Yeah, I mean we're open to new names as well. Like
I really like Youth Group Survival School. That's a good one. That's a really good one.
Yeah, I think the problem though is mostly what we're going to talk about
is
is
not
like,
that. Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's mostly going to be friggin' aliens, conspiracies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love tinfoil Pope hats because it's such a silly like visual.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And it's so off the wall, but I don't know. I mean, I'm open to whatever. So, all right, Andrew, if we were to just assume that every episode is we're going to cover some sort of alien topic, some sort of ancient history, whether it's biblical ancient history or like go back like Tepe or that kind of stuff, and we will be like making fun of like church stuff. But those are probably going to be like the big three.
Yeah.
It's like the first time that me and Timmy did this, I pulled up a bunch of clips of worship leader fail videos.
Oh.
And they were just...
Brother, it hurt. It was painful.
You guys remember Joel?
Oh, yeah.
From
Lowell.
Lowell.
Yeah.
He would do that when he was singing. He had those big old fat cheeks.
Joel. It's like the same 8 songs on rotation that were all written in 2001.
Yeah, dude.
That was brutal.
Y2K just ended.
Yep.
Everybody at that church had extra rice in their basement.
Yeah.
They really
They
did.
were so convinced that the end times were near. They started.
It was like
It was coming.
99 Reasons Jesus is Returning in 99. That was a book. That was an actual book.
Yeah.
Was
and
it
I'm
really?
sure that half the church read that.
That's crazy,
And they believed
dude.
it. And then it became like 2008 reasons why it's all ending in 2008.
Dude,
Obama's the Antichrist. You remember that? You remember Obama as the Antichrist?
I do remember
I
that.
remember Obama was the Antichrist. Y'all were
He
sleeping.
could have been. You know, there's a theory that there's not one Antichrist, and that every generation has to have one ready in case it's the end.
Yeah, there's a bloodline thing.
There's like this
gets into Nephilim
Yeah,
bloodlines.
dude, there's this weird theory that like every president has been by some measure related to this one king from Britain, like 1,000 or so years ago. Every single president that we've had
Really?
has some sort of direct ancestry to this king from Great Britain.
Are you familiar with like the Adventures of Baron Trump thing?
Yes.
How
Yes.
crazy is that? There
Are you
was
talking about the theory that Donald Trump's a time traveler?
no. Well,
Have you heard that one?
that theory came out of this. There was a book.
sounds
there was a
awesome, though.
book written a long time ago
Oh, okay. I have heard this.
about the adventures of this chosen one.
Yeah.
His name is Baron Trump or something like
Yep.
that.
Yep.
And he goes on adventures, and his dad is like the king of the world or something. Pretty weird. Pretty weird. And the theory is that either Trump is a time traveler and like wrote the book,
Or it was some kind of prophecy or something?
or it was like a prophecy.
Interesting.
Or Trump read it when he was like a middle schooler and he became so filthy rich.
I'm going to base my
Just
whole life
made
off
it
of this.
happen.
He just
He's
made
like-
it happen
he's like,
for fun.
This is a great book. It's the best book I've ever read. It is the best book. Lots of people are talking about the book.
They told me, they said, you're not going to name your son that. And I said, yeah,
Yes, I am.
I am.
I said, I'm sorry, I thought this was America. Oh, man.
God, that guy's so funny.
Can
What
you
are we gonna-
imagine if he was like a televangelist?
It's not that different from what he is now. It's not that different.
And I had a conversation with Jesus. I said, Jesus, my congregation, the best congregation, you know them, they know you. You've spoken to them, great conversations every day. They need more money for the wall around the church to keep out all of the non-churchers. They're not sending their best to the church.
And we know you're into walls, Jesus. And Jericho.
There's a wailing wall where you go and you wail. Not sure how that works because they outlawed whaling in 1907. Whales are great. We love the whales.
Dude. That guy's hilarious. He's something. He cracks me up.
This portion of the podcast has been redacted.
Tell you what, me and Bub saw some weird stuff out west.
I'll bet you did.
We saw a triangle UFO.
No.
Yep.
You
That's
guys,
what it is. Timmy, you know how skeptical I am. Okay. Okay.
In Medicine Bow, Wyoming.
well, I know they're real.
We saw one. And we saw two abnormalities. Andrew was just like, I thought there's a part of me that thought Andrew had taken something and didn't tell me because Andrew was just like, look at the sky.
Bub was in the tent. He was like in bed. He was like getting ready to curl up in
I was about
bed.
to take my
And
last
I was like,
piss.
I was like, Bub, come outside and look at the sky, man.
It was beautiful. But then I started looking, I was like, I see this one star zigzagging like a snake. Explain that.
That's pretty weird.
Explain that. And then I just go, oh. Sure enough, three lights in a perfect, what is it? Equilateral triangle.
Yeah.
Three dots moving in formation. And they just kept doing that. They just kept like, without separating at all, without changing the distance from each other, these three dots, the same color roughly, One was like a little bluish, I think, or something. But
I thought they all looked the same.
yeah, it was really weird.
And now, Timmy, I know what you're thinking, because my first thought was like, it could be satellites.
Well, no, I'm sold. Bro, I'm immediately like, all right.
Well, my first thought was like, oh, this could totally be satellites. But they changed like their overall course. Like they weren't going just in a straight line.
Right, yeah.
Like they like went down and then they ended up going like
they kind of like curved a little bit.
Yeah.
You guys saw a UFO.
We did
pretty rad.
Yeah,
I'm jealous.
We did see an unidentified thing up
I've
there.
only seen one before, and I'm really bummed that I've only seen the one. I saw it from my house though.
Really?
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
I mean, we got all that open sky
Yeah.
because we're in the middle of a cornfield,
Right.
like 3 acres of corn and soybean. We're smack in the middle of it, and I don't necessarily want to give away where we live, but out by where I live, you know that tower
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
that's down the road, that big old tower.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like above the tower, there was a light. We get a lot of airplanes because there's that county airport nearby.
Mm-hmm.
But there's red and green and maybe a white blinking
Yeah.
on those. And this was one orange dot. And it was going
Yeah, that's
like
weird.
right above the tower.
That's weird, dude.
And I was like, I gotta go get my wife to come to see this thing. And I was like, hey, come outside. There's a UFO outside. She gets out there, there's nothing out there. And I'm like,
Dude.
that was embarrassing.
So, Timmy, how do you feel about aliens coming from underwater?
Underwater, well, okay. That's a 2-part question.
How so?
How?
What do I think about aliens? Like, are they actually aliens? Something's definitely coming out of the water. I'll answer the second half right off the bat.
Okay, let's
But
go down.
are they
Let's
aliens?
go down the road of assuming that there's some type of sentient being,
Oh, they're sentient.
Right.
Oh, they know what they're doing.
right? That are not human.
Oh yeah, they'll probe you. they know exactly what they're doing. They're quite experienced. Yeah, they'll get you.
They'll give you the old colonoscopy.
The old snap. Ding. They'll get you, bro. You watch out.
You guys ever like meet a dude who you're like, if there was someone to be abducted by aliens, it would totally be this guy.
Are you about to say that that's me? Is that where you're going with this? Nobody believed me.
I think abduction is a crime of opportunity.
I don't think so.
I think it's in mostly rural areas exclusively, and that's the data would support that.
No, I think it's like planned. Like we're gonna go to this area and get somebody.
Yeah, that's what I mean by like opportunity. It's like where there's the least visibility of being seen by like because you don't hear of people getting
like
abducted
a crime
in
of opportunity is like, oh, somebody went to the bathroom and their purse is on the table.
that happens too though. People get abducted from their cars out in the desert all the time.
I think it's a little more organized. I think one of the big
They
things
just
they
get
do.
like,
Hold on. Betty and Barney Hill
Okay, I know the Betty and Barney Hill story. It's
from
very
a car.
Yes,
If I'm not mixing up stories, it was from their vehicle.
it's very credible.
so what? They
in my
just
opinion.
got lifted out of the car.
No, they got telepathically controlled to walk up into it voluntarily.
So the
That's how
spaceship
they remember
landed.
it. Yes. Yeah. Touchdown. They walked up there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the story that they were telling. And let me make sure while you continue with your point,
Here's
Simba, let me
one
make
of the
sure
things
that's
that I
correct
think they
because-
definitely do.
This portion of the podcast has been redacted.
And when I say evil, I mean like sitting atop a dark tower in a very high backed swirly chair. Evil. That's what I mean.
Yeah, you think everybody's evil though?
Well, I know that we all are. Biblically, we all are.
Well, that's a different.
Okay, so
conversation.
going back to Betty and Barney Hill, I was correct. So this is a brief summary. On September 19th through 20th, 1961, while driving through the White Mountains of New Hampshire, Betty and Barney Hill observed a bright moving light that appeared to follow them for miles. They eventually stopped and examined it through binoculars, identifying a disc-shaped, pancake-like craft hovering approximately 80 to 100 feet above them. Barney, who got out with binoculars and a revolver, reported seeing 8 to 11 humanoid figures peering from windows. He described the object as silent and glowing with flickering lights. He felt mesmerized by their eyes and fled back to the car in terror. Soon afterward, they lost 2 hours of memory. When they awoke 35 miles down the road, Barney's shoes were scuffed, Betty's dress was torn and powdered, both their watches had stopped, and a compass spun near strange marks on the trunk. About 10 days later, Betty began having 5 consecutive nights of vivid, surreal dreams, depicting being forced to walk through a forest in the night alongside Barney, then being taken aboard a craft by small humanoid figures in uniform. The beings in her descriptions appeared 5 to 5'4", nearly human in build, with grayish skin, black hair, dark eyes, bluish lips, and prominent noses, wearing matching caps and uniforms. Under hypnosis with Dr. Benjamin Simon in 1964, the couple recalled being led up a ramp into a space. So this is well after this hypnosis guy is trying to do memory recall therapy with them. The couple recalled being led up a ramp into a spacecraft, stripped and placed on metal tables for a series of medical procedures. Barney described being poked with needles, mentally feeling only, no pain, but intense eye contact. This is a quote from Barney Hill. "Oh, those eyes. They're in my brain."
Oh, good.
Betty recalled a long needle inserted in her navel for something resembling a pregnancy test. Painful, but then eased by a gesture. The leader waved his hand. "I won't feel it," she said. They described hair, nail, and skin sampling, skin prodding on various parts, head, legs, spine, and being observed by a distinctly leader figure. Betty also reported that one alien seemed confused by Barney's dentures. Another showed her a star map, later interpreted by ufologists to correspond to Zeta Reticuli.
That's where they told Bob Lazar that the aliens came from.
They reported their sighting to Project Blue Book and Nightcap, where astronomer Walter Webb interviewed them for 6 hours on October 21st, 1961. Webb concluded that they, quote, were telling the truth, aside from minor observational uncertainties. The story became public in 63, leading to the best-selling 66 book, The Interrupted Journey, by John Fuller, and the 1975 TV film, The UFO Incident, starring James Earl Jones and Estelle Parsons.
I'll bet that's good.
It's gotta be. So psychologists have suggested the couple's hypnotically recovered memories may reflect false memory, sleep deprivation, or stress, influenced by intense personal and societal pressures. Barney was black, married to a white woman in 1960s America. And Dr. Simon concluded Betty's dreams combined with Barney's anxieties likely shaped their shared story.
That's bullshit.
I agree.
Dude, I also just
that seemed,
I don't know about you guys,
when
but I can't get on board with the whole hypnosis thing, though.
Oh, I believe in it.
But they had already reported all that stuff. The stuff that I read at the beginning was what they reported before the hypnosis.
Right, I understand that.
It was the hypnosis when he went, "Oh, those eyes, they're in my head." I heard a recording of it. Dude, it's terrifying. Terrifying.
Was that an AI overview?
It was.
Oh, you got demons in your phone now, dude.
No, I don't.
You need a new phone.
Dude, it's just no, I talked to a software guy about this. He set my mind at ease. I disagree with you on
I
this.
will not. Nope. Them's demons, dude.
It's just an advanced search engine.
I do find it slightly alarming that I'll mention something in proximity of my phone, and then I'll get like an ad for it.
That has nothing to do with ChatGPT, though. That's been going on since way before.
Yeah, that's
No, I
shadow
know, but-
government stuff right there.
Dude, it freaks me out so much, dude.
So, anyways, that's the Barney and Betty Hill story. I forget why we were talking about that.
Me too.
Oh, getting abducted from cars, and we're talking about it as
Yes.
crime of opportunity. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they just like fly around sometimes, and if they see somebody, they grab them, or they go to certain areas that are rural, and they snatch people.
Do you think that the hippies that are out there with like a sign that's like "Take us with you"? Think they have a better chance or a worse chance of going?
I don't know, but here's what I do
Like
think.
if I was an alien,
That's a good question.
If I was an alien
That's a
and there
good
was
question. Yeah,
a bunch of
yeah.
hippies down there that were
Yeah.
just absolutely down bad for the gray, like
I'd take them.
bro, like get on board.
Yeah.
Have a day.
Sure.
We eat weird cubes. Have some.
Dude. Yeah. I don't know.
But you never hear stories like that from those people.
Well, yeah, they don't come back.
Yeah, or they're immediately discredited because they're just really into LSD.
They may have just been
Yeah,
really
that's
into
fair.
LSD
Yeah.
the whole time.
Well, so here's like, my theory is that they don't do it anymore. I think
they still do.
I don't think so. I think whatever they were trying to get and whatever they needed from these abduction procedures, they figured it out. So they don't need to do it anymore, which is almost more scary.
I don't know, but why do you still see them flying around, allegedly?
Because they're still out there.
Doing what, though?
Alien shit.
I think
That's my point, though. Okay, so now we got to get down to where they're coming from.
I think there's two
All
different
right, let's get
types
into
of
it.
UFOs.
Let's get into it. No. I like where this is going. Wait. Two different types of UFOs?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
There's UFOs that, like, the craft is owned by humans, and then there's UFOs where the craft are not owned by humans. I think the ones that we see most of the time over land are owned by humans, and I think the ones coming out of the water are probably not.
So you're saying the ones that we see overland are most likely like governmental or military technology?
I don't think they're governmental or military. I think the government and military is involved, but I think if you look at the process of
If we are
developing and reverse engineering craft like that, they've always used third-party companies. Like, look at Skunk Works, right? Look at all the weird stuff that they were able to build in the 60s. The 71 Blackbird was like the 60s.
Right.
You had to wear a spacesuit to fly that thing.
Crazy.
That's insane. So they were
such a
decades
cool
ahead.
plane.
Decades ahead.
Such a cool plane.
Right? So I think
Dude,
like
the drip of that plane.
I think the
is so-
triangular ones are reverse engineered and they're probably humans, but I don't think it's like the Air Force owns them. I don't think they can. I don't think the Air Force can.
How wouldn't they be able to?
Okay.
Who has the kind of funding?
Not the Air Force.
I totally disagree with you.
Oh, there's a lot of money going around over there.
Well, I understand that there's like trillions of dollars in missing money in the government, but I don't think it's going to the Air Force. I think the Air Force is giving it to somebody else.
Well, dude, over half of the military-industrial complex is all third-party private companies that get contracted.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But
That's
my
what I'm
point,
saying.
though, is with stuff like that, the way it typically goes is they hire one company to make a bunch of parts, and they have no idea what they're really working on.
Yep.
I agree with
They
this.
have their own
Compartmentalization.
engineers.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then they hire a bunch of different companies. They all make a bunch of different parts, and then the people who actually work for the military are probably still like the really smart people are still contractors, but they actually have security clearances.
Yeah.
Shit like that.
I'm gonna
and then,
tell you.
and then they put the plane together, and then they go test it.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you why I think this way.
Okay.
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 I think that the most likely scenario. I'm not saying I believe this 100%. I think the most likely scenario is that the Air Force got a hold of the first UFO at Roswell. Okay? Somebody who's very powerful and pulls a lot of strings, who is not military and is not government, somebody from a very old, very rich family,
Okay.
pulls their strings and gets this program up and running, and they are the overseers. It's a dynastic type of organization. Only the family members from a specific bloodline, who most likely are part Nephilim, are pulling the strings.
I knew that was coming.
Okay. Here's what I think. I'm telling you why I think this. All right. You can laugh at me. I am the silliest goose. I don't care. Okay. I think that there's this like ancient bloodline that have been pulling strings all the way from Egypt to Rome to now.
Dang. That's a
And-
long haul, dude.
It's a long haul. It's a long haul. But you were talking earlier about how all the presidents have been related to the same family.
I'm not saying it's true.
I
I'm
think
saying
it's totally possible. So I think that this organization, right, They've got their pinky toes in all the water. They got a finger in every pie, right? Mm-hmm. I think that they're probably involved in human trafficking, drug trafficking, like LSD experiments in the 60s, UFOs. I think that they're kind of like they've been pushing humanity to a specific place for a very long time, and I think the end goal is Antichrist type shit. I think what they want to do is they want to present the Antichrist as a savior to humanity. I think that they want to present him as like, oh, the aliens who created us are here to save us. And he's going to be president of the world. And they're here to save us from a bigger threat.
It's possible, but...
And like think about like how you get a one world government. Giant threat. Everybody has to band together.
All right, well, hold on a second.
This goes deep.
No,
That's
no,
the problem.
hold on.
It goes so deep.
Okay, but my autism is kicking in because we have like jotted a few steps down so many different paths and then walked backwards to another one.
Okay, I'll go backwards. I'll go backwards.
You would have to have ADHD to listen to this.
Mine is severe. Okay.
So we're all over the place.
There's this bloodline, okay?
No, before that. Go back.
Air Force.
The
Air Force doesn't own the craft. This bloodline, this organization does.
Nope. Before that.
That's the start.
No,
that's
it's not.
The start of it.
Nope. The start of it was Andrew asked,
where do they come from?
Where do they come from?
No, he didn't.
Yes, I did.
Is that what you asked?
Yes.
He asked it like several times.
Okay. I thought you asked.
And we ended up here.
Okay. Where do they come
I was
from?
like, well, then you have to ask, where do they come from?
the craft?
Timmy's like, oh, first of all, the Air Force doesn't own them. Second of all,
there's this ancient dynastic line.
they're sacrificing babies.
They are, dude.
Okay. Let's go back.
Where do they come from? The angels built them.
Wait a minute.
Timmy.
You are so unhinged today as to what is going on.
This is what I think. I have listened to 600 podcast episodes over the last year.
Okay,
all I
hold
do
on.
at work.
Did they come
9
from
hours a day?
Did they come from outer space or did they originate from Earth?
Yeah, let's start there.
Okay.
We gotta put this guy on a leash.
There's two theories to this. I am not sure which one's more likely.
Like a horse switch to just smack Timmy
Smack
when
him.
he's getting out of hand.
Oh
Two
my
theories to
gosh.
this. I don't know which one's more likely. Theory number one is basically that outer space is the second heaven, and it's traversable by the angels.
The second heaven.
Yeah, there's 3 of them.
That is, the third heaven is directly mentioned in Scripture by Paul. He just does not expound on it at all.
The theory is that like the first heaven is the skies on earth, second heaven is space, third heaven is like the realm where God lives on his throne. Okay.
That's a good theory, actually, because when God in creation, God says he separated the heavens from the earth.
Oh, there's a ton
He
of...
called the clouds heaven.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, that's not heaven.
The main
you know?
the main evidence for this theory is actually like textual.
Yeah, it sounds
about,
actually
like,
pretty solid.
The Hebrew and the Greek used different words that all mean heaven, but they used the same word when talking about the sky when they said heaven, and they used the same word when talking about the stars when they said heaven.
I see what you're saying.
Which was a different word, and they used the same word talking about God's realm, heaven. So that when you combine that with what Paul talked about and couple of podcasts with PhD biblical studies guys, you land pretty hard at there are 3 heavens.
Right.
So the theory is that the second heaven is traversable by the angels. They can exit what I think is a different dimension, which is the third heaven, enter the second one, screw around in there, do some stuff. They can enter the first heaven, which is like a star that moves around that tells people that the Christ is going to be born. So you can like follow this thing and find him and
But they
give
can
him
also
some
just
gold and
come
stuff.
down to Earth too.
Okay, but-
for the Bible.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
So they can traverse all of it. But if you think about like God is a God of order and rules, and he wrote physics for here. He wrote physics for the spiritual realm. And if you come here from the spiritual realm, you're not necessarily beholden to the physics, but angels walked and they ate and they sat and they spoke with people. So it makes sense to me that if they're wandering around in the second heaven, that they're going to traverse it in a similar fashion. And if we do it, we need a spaceship. So it makes sense to me that they would also need a spaceship. And that spaceship is probably pretty advanced, being that they're really smart. They're smart enough that if they defy God and come down to Earth to mate with humans and create Nephilim, they can teach humans science that we never would have found on our own, which was one of the sins that the Watchers were punished for when they got hucked into Tartarus under the ocean. Which, boy, we're spiraling.
You're doing it again.
But
Tim, you know what, Tim, you know what you're doing right now?
What?
You're running down a hallway full of doors and flinging them open. Just
Okay.
and just continuing to run down an endless hallway.
I think.
Opening doors.
Okay. Theory number 2.
No,
Theory number
Timmy.
there's 2 theories. Theory number 2 is that
You
it's a
did-
purely
you didn't even-
interdimensional craft.
No, hold on. You still didn't really answer like the meat of my question I guess, Andrew's question, which was you think aliens come from the second heaven in your thing or the third?
I think angels spend a lot of time up there.
No. Okay, so
I think they fought a war up there. I think they fought a war a long time ago on Mars.
ladies and gentlemen,
There's pyramids up there, dude.
Alex Jones is in the building.
This is why he's silly goose number 1.
This is why it's silly goose number 1. Okay. No.
It sounds like I'm kidding.
No,
I'm convinced.
I know you're not kidding, but I want you to explain what if you think that aliens.
I never said aliens.
That's what we were asking.
I don't think that there are aliens that live on another planet, that evolved on another planet
Okay.
and built stuff
All
and
right.
flew it here.
That's what
I
I
don't
was
think
looking
that's
for.
real.
That's what I was looking for.
I don't think that's real.
Okay.
That's
I don't
exactly
think
what
they're
I was
aliens.
looking for.
I think there are grays, little gray men. I think they were genetically engineered by the Nephilim. I think they're meat suits. They're biological robots. Like, imagine that you make a robot, but your technology tree didn't go down the electricity route.
Just compoundingly crazier.
No, think about it, right? Like, you have technology. They're bioengineered robots.
It's like okay, so you don't believe in aliens? No, but
Okay.
this is so.
And no, the Nephilim are keeping them underground in Antarctica.
No, stop it. You have to back up. You're just saying crazy shit. You're not explaining any of it.
Dude, the data bank. Thousands of hours
I know you
of
need
research
to
and podcasts.
slow down. I'm gonna give you a trank. Give this guy some horse tranquilizer.
I need to smoke before we do these.
Something, dude.
Oh my god.
Okay, so you think that aliens flying are... So let's go back to Betty and Barney Hill. These creatures that they described, if they were real, what would be your theory as to what they are and where they come from?
Okay. Imagine that your technology, as it evolved, as you created technology, didn't go down the route of fossil fuels and electricity.
Yes, like
Okay.
a paradigm shift.
It's like a totally different tech tree.
Yep, I've thought
Imagine
about
that
this.
it went more natural and more biological.
Okay.
And at some point, you come up with the idea, let's make robots to do this thing. You're going to make biological robots. And this fits the narrative for me because the grays are always described as cold, calculated, no emotion, cold to the touch when you touch them. It makes sense to me that they're more like a machine created to do a job.
So you think they're like hive mind drones, essentially?
I think they're hive mind drones, and I think the brains behind the operation is fallen angels.
Interesting.
The blonde-haired, blue-eyed Nordics, when people say that.
Oh,
Yes.
you know what?
They're the
Hold
fallen
on,
angels
hold on.
because the Watchers are described as blonde-haired and blue-eyed.
I understand that, but the reason why that's interesting to me is because it would make sense if, like there was a rule from the kingdom of heaven that they're not allowed to like enter our atmosphere, that they would devise some sort of proxy to go do their dirty work for them remotely.
Yeah. Like, they're not allowed, and last time they did, they all got chucked into Tartarus.
And I fully understand that what I just said is fucking
no, you're
crazy.
No, you're understanding the narrative. The whole picture's quite clear.
I don't know about that. It's fun to think
all
about.
lines up, though. It all lines up. Like, the last time angels came down here and meddled with our genetics themselves, they got thrown into prison.
That's true. That's in the Bible. We can't argue with that one.
And then God wiped out their offspring with a flood, and then somehow Nephilim came back. There was a bunch of giants after that.
Yeah, that's
and then
a
he
whole
sent
different...
David to go kill all of them. He was like, kill everybody there, even the babies.
Yep.
Bloodline's got to go. And so David did that. And they're like, okay, well, we can't try that again. So let's build a couple of meat suits, send them down there, take
or
people.
Did they try it?
Bring
You
people
know
back.
what, Timbo? You're sounding less and less crazy.
They bring people, and
I'm just
what are
saying,
the kind of
there's something
experiments
that
that the
happened
Grays?
back in 1942
Here's the thing, though.
where a certain person felt the need to go exterminate an entire race of people.
Yeah.
Oh, he's involved. I will get there.
I'm just saying, we're the Jews Nephilim.
No,
No, I think it would be... So, it's so murky in the Bible because it just says there were giants in those days and also after. That's what we have to go on. And then you do, like, it it would seem that it wouldn't have been the Jews that were entangled with... it wouldn't have been the Israelites that were entangled with the Nephilim. It would have been the Philistines. Correct me if I'm wrong,
well,
Timbo.
the Philistines, the Amorites, some argue the Jebusites. There's like a bunch of different tribes that they were ordered.
Basically,
So-
the pagan tribes.
Yeah, one of the direct
day.
quotes from God was, "Get rid of them, lest they become a snare to you." Direct quote, and it's like, you gotta kill all these people. And the Israelites didn't, and they got punished very harshly. Which is why a long time later, after they decided to finally make a king, which God didn't want them to do, they picked Saul, and Saul was tasked with going and killing him. He didn't.
Yep.
Then David came around, and David went and did. And the thing about that narrative for me that really like meshes, that makes it feel less crazy, is when you combine all of the biblical evidence with the modern evidence of like UFO kidnappings and stuff like that, it fits the set of rules for the fallen angels. Like that they can't come here and meddle, otherwise they're gonna get locked away.
Sure.
It fits the, like, what kind of experiments are the Greys always doing to people in these abductions?
Typically has to do with fertility.
What was the goal of the Watchers when they came down to mate with women?
I hear what you're
was
saying.
to
It does.
make hybrid children. That's what they're still trying to do. They're trying to do it. The reason it's taken them so long is because they're trying to make them look just like us instead of look spectacular. And they're trying to assimilate them into our society without our knowledge, so they can just walk around.
In this sort of J.J. Abrams version of reality that we're talking about, that does make sense.
Yeah, and
It does make sense from that like perspective.
yeah,
It's just it's far fetched for me, but at the same time, like you and I were talking about how differently people of the ancient days viewed all of this stuff.
Yeah.
So I wonder if like because of the Enlightenment and like the scientific, like just like the emphasis that's placed on like measurable data that we have has not been like a huge priority,
Right.
for all of history. So part of me, I think one, it'd be arrogant for us to say, well, like there's no scientific proof, so we know better.
Yeah.
I think that's a little like
Yeah.
you get yourself into trouble there. So part of me wonders if like we just lost what reality actually is. You know what I mean?
I'm on board with
It's
that.
possible. I'm personally more on board with it's government experiments.
I could get that for you, bud. Could be.
I mean, dude,
here's
have
my
you ever
problem.
seen a helicopter fly through the desert?
No, I have not personally seen that.
So if it's super dry and I'm not sure how much the temperature plays into effect, but when helicopter rotor wings are in a really dry environment, they create a lot of static.
Yeah.
And they'll literally create like a ring of flashing lights.
That's cool.
Yeah, like a glow.
Like a glow.
Yeah.
So cool.
And if you were to see it and not know that it's a helicopter, you would be like, dude, those are fucking aliens.
One of the coolest, one of the coolest pictures of all time is a CH-47 dropping off Marines in Iraq, and it's got rotor glow.
Yeah.
It's one of the
It's
coolest
crazy looking.
photos of all
It's
time.
crazy looking.
That's sweet.
So when I hear abduction stories, dude, especially from back then, I mean, we know that like the CIA and all those guys actually ran real experiments on like entire towns.
Yep.
Yeah.
So for me,
messed up,
it
dude.
is not far-fetched at all for some group of dudes to go wrap up a husband and wife and do like a weird mind control or like
Inject
LSD.
them with, MK
know.
Ultra.
Yeah, dude.
Kanye.
I don't think that's far-fetched at all.
Yeah.
The one that gives me pause is that I think it was South Africa. It was a schoolyard. Do you remember this one?
Yeah.
And all these kids saw the same thing.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Oh, and then there was the one in South America where the little gray dude was like running through the street.
I never heard of that one.
Oh, that one's juicy.
See, I just think part of me is like, if this has been going on for almost the last really 100 years of documented UFO sightings, how have we not seen a body if it's not government related?
Well, I think that would be you're answering the question with the question. Is the government's going around and taking the bodies?
Right, but if it wasn't something that they had to do with though, why wouldn't they release that?
Wait.
You're saying, so if they're not involved,
If they're not involved,
they would just release
they would have
it.
no reason to hide it.
They would have every reason to
For
hide
what?
it. OPSEC.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, to an extent, brother.
No, but I'm talking about pioneering insanely advanced technology that would put us above every other country on the planet by light years. They would protect that to the nth degree.
Yeah, but
The president might
But
not
where's
even
the
know.
proof for that, though?
There never will be. So that's what I'm saying. We're
So
not.
you're
gonna,
saying we have so much secret technology that we don't know about that came from aliens?
No, I'm not saying that at all.
Well, that's my point. Is if this was such a closely guarded secret, why is our technology the same as China's and Russia's? Why are we not light years ahead?
I have
could be.
I have a really fun theory.
But you and I wouldn't know about it, right?
I see. I that's where I disagree,
But I don't see how you could disagree with that.
because I think to an extent there's, dude, you find an alien body. Like if it were me, dude, I'm the first one to show up to the crash scene. First thing I'm doing is taking a picture of that.
I understand that, but we're assuming that you would have to assume that these things are flying around so frequently and so carelessly that they're crashing often. You're talking about it as if like there's just alien bodies that are just showing up every day. Like, I don't think that's the case. I just think that like if this technology exists, it's obviously very sophisticated.
Right.
And so that's what would make something like the Roswell crash so revolutionary, because it would be like one of the only crashes that we know of. And it might be the only crash that our government has ever been able to get their hands on.
Well, I just think there's obviously not a lot of full evidence that's available to us, at least, about any of this stuff.
Right.
But there's a lot of stories about different UFO crashes, even in the U.S. And if Roswell is just the most popular one, That doesn't mean that it has more merit than any of the other ones.
I
Not
agree with that.
saying that it does.
Okay. So my point is that out of all these crashes, out of all of these stories, if we're assuming that they're all real, how is it possible that the government has been the one to get there every single time first and snatch up those bodies, and we have never seen any proof of it?
I don't think they would have to. Here's what I know. Unfortunately, our government is not above killing civilians,
True.
its own civilians.
Yeah.
It is not above lying. It is not above covering things up. It is not above twisting the truth.
Exactly.
It is actually really, really good at those 4 things.
Right.
Better than we probably realize.
Right.
So to me, I think it would be more improbable for the news to get out than it would be to keep it secret.
Interesting.
I can track with that.
Yeah, I think if some farmer had a thing crash in his, whatever, and we've got this global network that can track every single missile that's fired on the Iron Dome thing. We know every time I'm sure that we have a system to where some dude in the Philippines can buy an RPG off of Temu and and shoot it into the ocean for fun, and someone somewhere in our military structure will see a little thing on a computer screen because of it.
Yeah.
So
I think our tech is so good that we can tell when a bird takes a shit because its radar signature changes.
right,
But
my point,
not back in the day, though.
but my point is,
But we can now.
But my
And
po-
that happened real quick, didn't it?
my point is, when the government were to hear or see or know about one of these crashes, I think they would just go and take care of it. And it wouldn't matter because people did report this stuff, and all that happened was they got discredited.
Right.
So, and then Project Blue Book, the whole purpose of it was to go around and basically cover all this stuff up and come up with sort of, and admittedly, in hindsight, very scientifically sketchy explanations of these things just to keep the public at ease.
Right.
So no, I don't think that if there were actual bodies that were ending up on the ground for people to find, I think those people would be dealt with.
So I guess my point is I think it's more probable that the government is getting to those scenes and covering it up and discrediting people because they were doing something and they were doing experiments, then it is probable that it was actual aliens.
Okay, I respect that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I have a fun theory I want to talk about.
Okay.
In my many thousands of hours listening to nonsense on the internet, there was a story of a guy who was basically, his job was aircraft retrieval. Okay. Which is a real job. We do that. They're kind of sciencey guys, and they get inserted by a team, and they retrieve black boxes off of aircraft and whatever technology the U.S. doesn't want other people to have, and then they scuttle the ship and move on. He got sent on an aircraft retrieval mission, and
What time period is this story from? Recent history?
10 or 11, 2010, 2011. They go to the middle of nowhere. They go to retrieve this aircraft. It looks like a black triangular UFO. They get inside the UFO, and the tech looks almost identical to U.S. fighter jet tech on the inside of the craft, but everything is in a different language. And the guy said he was flipping through his booklet to try to find what language this is, and one of the scientists that was with him was like, "You're not going to find that in there." And he's like, "Why not?" He's like, "It's Enochian, and it's a demon language, and you're not going to find it in there." And then they grab a couple things, and then they scuttle the craft, and then they leave. And then it gets a little weird. There's like a weird, they may have received contact in the woods at some point, and him and the other scientists kind of huddled, which is one of the things about it that made it sound so credible to me. Like, he wasn't portraying himself as a hero. He was like, yeah, we huddled and the dudes dealt with it. And then we got home, and then nobody ever talked about it again. It was really weird. The interesting theory that came out of this conversation that I was listening to was that the tech we have is the alien tech. You use a lot of it every day in your phone, in your computers, night vision goggles, thermal cameras. If you look at the acceleration of technology over the last 100 years compared to thousands and thousands of years, we went from riding horses to riding horses.
Mm-hmm.
And
True.
then we went from riding horses to the automobile and a little bit of electricity, which is a huge jump.
Mm-hmm.
I'll admit that happened quick. But we go from the Model T to the SR-71 Blackbird in 50 years. Compared to tens of thousands.
It is
of
interesting
years?
to me, but let me ask you something, because this goes back to my first question.
Well, I don't know, but he's got a point. That's pretty.
What
I
if-
mean, when you look at the big picture,
What if the F-14
I agree.
Tomcat
I
is alien tech?
And it could be. I just want to ask a question though. It goes back to my first question? Is if it is alien tech, let's even go down the religious route where it's like angel tech basically or demon tech.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So where is it coming from?
Demon Tech, new band name, I call it.
Ooh, I like that. Anyways, where is it coming from? Is it coming from space?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so my next question is, if that is the tech that we're getting from outer space, why does it still take us basically strapping a capsule to an enormous rocket to get things in?
That's just the stuff you know about. They're not going to tell everybody about it.
I would have a different answer to that question. I would just say it's like we recovered what we recovered, and we're only able to gain a limited amount in a particular direction from it.
That makes sense. Like, if you look at the Bob Lazar story, it's like they couldn't figure out how it works, why it works. We don't even have element 115 in a stable isotope. We can't recreate the reactor, but we can recreate some of the systems that the craft uses and put that on, Apollo 11.
So, for example, let's say I drop a iPhone 13 from the sky into, let's say, ancient Egypt, like 1000 BC.
Yeah.
If they had a lot of time and resources, they might be able to reproduce some of the functions of that phone.
Right.
But they wouldn't figure out the internet. They wouldn't figure out social media. They wouldn't figure out the grid that connects all of it, the true purpose of it. So if we were reverse engineering a technology from a few select crafts, we still wouldn't. It wouldn't be like, oh, we know all the alien secrets now. We'd be very limited.
That's a very valid point.
into the applications.
Very good point.
And I think that would even strengthen the argument that the government is so hell bent on getting right up in these encounters and crashes right away, because they need the more pieces to the puzzle to try to continue to advance that technology.
That's if you believe we're that far behind and that we don't have a secret space program that's already got a base on the backside of the moon.
Yep.
That
You
is
remember
if you believe that.
do you remember the hack? Some dude hacked like the CIA and they found a list of non-terrestrial naval officers.
That's one of those things.
You remember that?
That just no, I don't remember that.
Oh man, look into that. That gets weird.
Heard of that.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
So-
I don't necessarily believe it.
So before we wrap this up,
But it's fun.
I think we should return to one of the first questions, and that's like, could these things be coming from under the water? If so, what sort of What sort of creepy crawlies are we talking about?
Well, they got bases down there,
Okay.
and I think that's where the grays are produced.
Again, back up.
That's where they make them.
Okay, so
Who's they?
yeah, hold on.
The fallen angels, man.
Okay.
Okay, so you think that there's bases like at the bottom of the ocean, or you think it's like under the crust of the earth?
Probably both.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, probably both. There's probably some under the ice in Antarctica. There's a couple pyramids down there.
That's what they say.
There's probably ocean floor bases. I think that the most likely scenario is that the fallen angels are forced by some law to spend most of their time in the second heaven, and that they've had the same group of humans that have been breeding amongst themselves separately as a society from us for thousands and thousands of years that work for them. They're kind of born into captivity there, and those are the people that live in those bases and produce the grays with the help of the fallen angels, and they probably go up to space to talk to the fallen angels every once in a while to get orders and stuff, and then maybe come back down.
Hold on a second. I just had kind of like a crackpot theory just spark in my brain as you were talking about this.
Right, because mine are completely valid and sound and sane. Comparatively.
Well, you were talking
Timbo, ladies and gentlemen.
right. We got to have a sound effect for you for the podcast.
Yeah.
Whenever you do something like that.
That's Timbo.
No, I know what it's going to be. I'm going to find a sound clip of just a gaggle of geese honking, and then just going to because you're the silly goose.
I was thinking the shitty like recorder playing.
Oh, yeah.
The Titanic.
Dude, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to buy a recorder, and I'm going to purposely do a bad recorder cover of the Stargate SG-1 theme.
That would be a banger.
And then maybe, yeah, that'd be awesome. But like, so Timbo, you were talking way earlier about, I forget if you were talking about the Nephilim or something, but they got like imprisoned under the water.
Yeah, Tartarus.
Well, it'd be interesting if like they are just like stuck down there, but it's like the same as your space theory, though.
Yeah,
it's like
I didn't connect those dots.
they create like drones to go up and do their bidding from
You just
up
solved
through the.
like 3 months of wondering for me. I can't believe that.
I'm here for. That's what I'm here for.
No, that makes so much sense. So, like the ancient Semitic worldview, like the ancient Hebrews, what they believed is that like the water was like a portal to hell.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is really cool when Jesus walks on it and commands the storms out on the sea. It really emphasizes he's like,
Dope.
screw you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? That's so rad. But if the craft are coming from underwater and those dudes are locked up down there, it's like, like mafia bosses
They
run
build
shit
these little
from prison.
things down there. Yeah. Yeah.
If a
that's
mafia
true.
boss can run his mafiosos from prison, you don't think fallen angels can figure out a way to run shit from stuck under the ocean?
If there's one thing we know, it is that the enemy is not idle.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
They be up to no good.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sorry, I gotta...
Lots of tomfoolery. I mean, of the highest order. Yeah. I mean, I personally, like, I think it's totally possible that there's some kind of just, I don't know, like species that just lives under.
Yeah, I mean, is it not possible that it could be? We could even go down the Nephilim route. Is it not possible that some Nephilim survived?
You're good. It's
Is this?
No, that's possible.
They did through the flood somehow, or they came.
Right.
There's a little bit of evidence that the Nephilim had high tech even in the days of David. I mean, like, okay, I don't know how true this is.
Or
but
what
I
if
thought-
it's
I
just
choose to believe it.
some of the OG sons of God?
Could be.
Yeah, but they all got locked up.
Yeah, they're
Exactly my
down under
point.
the water, dude.
Yeah.
Exactly my point, Timmy. They got locked up.
I thought we just said that though.
Well, we were using different verbiage for it. I guess I
Oh.
wasn't tracking what you guys were.
Are you familiar with the Goliath firestones and sword thing?
No.
Oh, buddy. Okay, so Goliath, a giant,
Mm-hmm.
probably a Nephilim, David has to go kill him.
Makes sense.
David
yeah.
picks up 5 stones. Goliath had 4 brothers.
Mm-hmm.
That math adds up.
Sure does.
Okay. So I don't know how true this is. I haven't studied ancient Hebrew. But there was a PhD guy on one of the podcasts I listened to who studied ancient Hebrew. And he said that the word used for stone when David picked up stones was a specific word that was only used one other time in the Bible.
Interesting.
And the other time that it was used was when God was describing Lucifer's job before he fell. And God
Okay.
said, "You used to walk among the firestones." He's talking about in the heavenly realm. That word for stone was the same word used when David picked up 5 stones from the river, according to this guy.
Dragon glass.
And the word for Goliath's sword apparently meant a new kind of weapon. But it's been
interesting.
translated as a new sword. Goliath was holding a new sword. And I think it's significant that after David hits him with a rock, he picks up his sword to kill him with it. Because maybe the rock couldn't quite seal the deal
Finish it.
there. Or maybe it did. Maybe he had some kind of magic rock. And, the sword was just like, I'm going to cut this guy's head off to show them I mean business. But it could be that the sword was like a new type of weapon, and he had to use that to kill the Nephilim. And that maybe he kept it and ran
That
around
is
with it,
interesting.
and-
Sometimes I wonder, dude, if the way these ancient biblical texts were originally written, like the evangelical movement just tried to get it all of the interesting stuff, just like they looked at it through a too scientific enlightenment lens.
Yeah.
And when they came to parts like that, they're just like,
It's a sword.
it's a sword.
I read the entire Old Testament in 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And when you read it, for what it is, it reads like the Lord of the Rings.
A lot of it does, yeah.
yeah.
It's a crazy fantasy novel, basically.
It's actually more like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and
because it's pretty fucked in some places.
If you just believe what it says, you're like, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard. Every other page. And then there's also the theory that back then when all that was happening, it looked a lot more like, Cyberpunk 2077 or something like that, and that we just lost all of the.
I suppose it's possible.
That they were super advanced back then, and that the words for swords actually means laser guns or something. But I don't believe that. It's just a fun one to think about. It is.
I wouldn't. If my enemy had laser guns, I wouldn't exactly go marching around the wall for 3 days.
Yeah, I do think angels have high tech though. And one of my evidences of proof for that is when God posts 2 angels outside the Garden of Eden after he kicks Adam and Eve out. Mm-hmm. They're wielding flaming swords, and the blade faces every direction.
Yeah.
Which is basically a lightsaber, if you think about it. Because the blades on lightsabers are omnidirectional. It doesn't matter what your angle is, it's going to cut. Angels have lightsabers, people.
Okay, we need to name this podcast. And then we need to be done because my brain's going to explode. My brain's going to explode.
Mine did a long time ago.
We know.
Timbo's cooked.
I'm going to get kicked out of church.
Me too. I was yeah. Alrighty. Well, what do we think?
Angels.
Assuming this is what it looks like every
What
episode.
if we just call it Angels Have Lightsabers?
Damn it, Timmy.
actually really like that.
It's
That's really good.
That is really good.
I think it sums up the nature of just the crackpot shittery that
Yeah.
comes out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Dude, if
That's really
we
good.
don't have to worry about that word, maybe we might have
What
to
about
go.
angels have laser swords?
I was gonna say we might have to go with
Yeah.
laser swords because
Yep.
I'm not sure if that actual term lightsaber is copyrighted or not.
It probably is, knowing.
It might be,
Yeah.
but dude, I love that.
That's great.
This has been episode 1 of Angels Have Laser Swords.
This
Or
was attempt
lightsabers.
number 5 at episode 1.
Oh
but
my
yes.
gosh. Yeah. I'm still going to put up our first one.
Are you really?
Yeah, it was
That's
good.
going to be horrible.
It was pretty good.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about this before, but nobody watches the first episode of any podcast.
No, it's just
True.
good to have
Yeah.
it out there. It
Yeah.
gives you more of a
Yep.
catalog.
pedigree,
Yeah.
as it were.
Yes.
Like,
So do we all
I'm a
like come up with like a
podcaster.
catchphrase now?
I was
You know what I mean? Like we end each episode, each one of us has a catchphrase.
Mine was it should be something totally unhinged and conspiratorial, and we just say it like
Come up with a new one
with
every week.
with zero. No. We should each have one.
Yeah, like
that way we
a
can do it.
consistent one.
We
Yeah.
don't have to
I
worry
feel
about.
like I just spent my good one.
Mine is going to be. I'm gonna do 2. It's got to be a something and they've got to be totally uncorrelated.
See, mine was going to be 90% of 100% of the things that I say is probably retarded.
That works. So you can say that. Let me see. I'm gonna do. Yeah. Wait. I'm thinking of so much crazy shit right now. Hitler died in Argentina.
That's real, though. That's not crazy. That's real.
Hitler died in Argentina, and Dick Cheney made money off the Iraq War.
Those are both true. That's not crazy.
Anyways, I'm Big Bub. Anyway, I gotta memorize
I gotta
it.
think of one now.
Hitler died in Argentina, and Dick Cheney made money off the Iraq War.
Yeah, that'll roll right off the tongue.
Yeah.
Practice
Yep.
that.
Yeah, I gotta
I
get
like that. I gotta come up with one. You got one yet?
I have the first part of mine.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I got the first part of
The
mine.
key is they have to be unrelated.
Yeah,
Preferably by thousands of years.
Okay. I was going to do science isn't real and Bob Saget fondled little kids.
No, we can't do that one. Oh, no.
That you can't say that. We're gonna have to bleep that one.
What if
I'll edit it out.
what if you give your craziest theory on who built the pyramids and then and birds aren't real?
Well, I would definitely want to do science isn't real.
Okay. I just love the birds aren't real conspiracy. It's so funny. I need to get a t-shirt.
Science isn't real and pyramids were built from the top down.
Yes,
That's amazing.
Yes, that's the one.
That's amazing.
That's the one. Science is. We have to write these down before we leave here today.
That's
We're gonna forget them.
amazing.
Oh,
Oh, I've got it.
You were talking about that in the car. I was like,
you were trying to explain it to me, and I was like, what?
I was like, Bub, hear me out. What if the pyramids were built from the top down?
It's like, how would that even work? That'd be so much more work.
All right, I've got mine.
Okay, all right.
Don't believe the lizard overlords. Raw milk is good for you, and Bigfoot is just a were-ape.
There you go. Oh man, good luck memorizing that one.
Yeah.
Shit. All right. Well, let's wrap it.
Yeah.
That was fun, boys.